Adobe is on a hiring spree. 5 employees share its appearance and best benefits. In 2021, Adobe earned a record high annual revenue of $15.79 billion. Going by employee testimonials, much of that business success may be due to the software company's status as a great place to work. Last year, Adobe continued to top Fortune's, LinkedIn's, and Indeed's lists of the top-rated workplaces. It's also received glowing public praise from its 25,000 employees, many of whom earn compensation packages well into 6 figures. But online testimonials only go so far. If you're looking to snag one of Adobe's 459 open roles, you most likely want to learn more about the conferences, licenses, community networks, social clubs, and growth opportunities the software company offers. Insider interviewed 5 current employees at Adobe to learn more about what motivates them and keeps them engaged. The employees' seniority and tenures varied, but they all agreed Adobe has mastered employee experience. Most of the respondents cited career growth opportunities, their teammates, and a nurtured passion for the work as reasons for their praise. Here is a selection of the employees' comments. I got my start in startups, so I came from that landscape and it was definitely very rewarding. But it was on a different scale. From urgency level to the amount of resources. It was just very different. But the people at Adobe are passionate and lovely folks to work with. I've never experienced anything like this before. And it's not easy to build something like Adobe's built. Especially when you get as large as we've gotten. Somehow they've been able to continue to maintain this warmth. I have seen the most personal and professional growth in this period. This 4.5 years at Adobe. Than I've seen in the rest of my career. As a black woman, just seeing how Adobe responded to the Black Lives Matter movement last year, it brought tears to my eyes. It was some generic, broad-stroke messaging. It wasn't after every other company stood up and said something. Adobe took it head on. They stood behind the black community, and they made it clear that that's what they were doing. What I would tell a friend. What I would tell a family member. Someone coming out of college. Or looking for a career change. I would say Adobe truly is a dream place to work. I actually just hit 5 years of service at Adobe. I went from intern to individual contributor, and now I'm a manager. It's just blown my mind how all this has happened the last 5 years. I've been in corporate videos. I go to conferences. I get to travel. Adobe funds my Japanese language learning classes. I got a drone license here. I got to start a table tennis club and league here. So many things have happened in the last 5 years, and I don't know if I could have done that anywhere else. What keeps me at Adobe, I would say, is opportunity. I definitely value opportunity over money. And Adobe offered me the opportunity of a lifetime. With the first job being my dream job straight out of school. I'm sure somebody might be unhappy with a role at Adobe, but the gross majority of us, I would say we are earning and learning in our roles. There's so much opportunity to gain another role at Adobe. Or even just change your role to get promoted into a better version of your current job, by just taking on more responsibility. It's a great first job, and it's also a great, I've had it for 35 years job. I joined Adobe in 2000. I was working on web animation tools, and after a couple years on that, a job opened on Photoshop. I ended up going to Google in 2014 because they were making a huge push into computational photography. I guess a key difference for me between companies is that Google got into photography kind of as a hobby. And for Adobe, it's really the bread and butter of the company. Adobe people tend to come to projects because they really care about the specific mission. People tend to commit to a project for quite some time. I came back in March of last year because I saw what Adobe had been doing around AI and machine learning. I was excited to come back and try to navigate that emerging world and figure out how we make these things useful and meaningful to a lot of folks and also do it responsibly. So it aligns with our values. In my first tenure, and in my return, imaging and machine learning and the creative parts of Adobe remain the bedrock of the company identity. So I think that's a through line. I guess the contrast, if there is one, is that now the company has expanded into all these things it really didn't do before. Every job is called work for a reason. It's gonna be challenging and frustrating, and a million other things. But the caring part, I think, is the distinctive one. I'm cool with people swearing because they care. I'm cool with people who are unreasonably committed to getting something right. or going that extra mile. Adobe has gotten bigger since I started, and so we get to connect with people across the world. Of course, sometimes that's a challenge. It can be a challenge to balance across the time zones for the different geographies. But it's also really fun to meet people from different areas and have the chance to connect with them. One thing that's been really clear is Adobe's support for its employees during the pandemic. They were very responsive in that they took a company survey, found out the things that people were struggling with, and took really concrete steps to help and support us. For example, last year we had global days off where the whole company had a day off. I recently became the executive sponsor for the Indigenous and First Nations employee group at Adobe, which focuses on supporting and connecting with Indigenous and First Nations people and allies. We kicked off the group in November, and we've had a couple events. We recently had a really great crow photographer named Adam Sings in the Timber come speak to us and tell us about his work. I've been a fan of his for a while, so it was kind of cool to be able to have him officially come speak to us. The best part of working at Adobe is really the people. I'm constantly impressed by how welcoming, how supportive, how engaged everyone is, not just in their work, but in their communities and in community organizations as well. I've been at Adobe for 22 years, so I get this question: how come I've been here so long? I think a couple things. One is the products Adobe has. I really fall in love with the products every day. We're trying to deliver personalized digital experiences, and that's hard, and it's a moving target. I think the second is, I spend a lot of time with our customers, and I think that Adobe just attracts some really innovative and creative people. The third, which really has been the reason that I've been at Adobe for the last 10 years, has been the team and the people. I used to think that when I started at Adobe that there was something that was holding me back, or that it was challenging. And now that I'm in the role I am in and gain this perspective, I think that at every company there's big challenges, and that the way you tackle that is by having the right talent that helps to make the products better for our customers. The ability to continue to learn is, I think, really important to sort of career longevity. You don't want to become stagnant at a company, you want to continue to grow. And when you're at a company for a long time, like me, I think it's more of a conscious thing you have to do.